So before we get started on the Comanche, I want to share with you guys something kind of funny, kind of important, something that actually happened to me. Not exactly how I'm going to show it, but pretty close. So yeah, it's just going to be how I pretty much get up in the morning. Oh, did I forget again? Yeah, so walls have been around for a long time, and there's a good reason for that. I don't really need to convince you to wear clothes. I mean, you're gonna be buying them anyway, so why not go with the best and most comfortable? Just go in my link in the description and get what you already know you need. You like the glasses? You like them, don't you? We'll keep them around. So today we'll be putting these axles into the Comanche. In the last video we prepped these. They're not really built per se, but they just look nice. They have paint on them basically. We'll start with this back axle. We'll get it wheeled under there and bolted in and see how it looks. Let's get into it. That. These are what it had on it before for the shock brackets, so I figured I could probably just reuse them. So yeah. Well, that is a shame. Like, massive shame that my U-bolts don't fit. Well, I'm gonna have to wait for new U-bolts, I guess. Okay.
Maybe they'll come in a day.
Okay, guys, I have something really exciting to show you. Check this out. Boom. Yep, no axle in the front. So we need to get that installed, and that's what we'll be talking about next. I have the back axle set. We're still waiting for those U-bolts. I can't get them till like a couple days. I don't know exactly when, but they're coming. So in the meantime, we can get the front axle bolted in, and I believe I have everything I need for that. Okay, so this is pretty much what I'll be using. Those are 4.5-inch lift springs, new track bar with a drop bracket, also these lower control arms, as well as adjustable. But other than that, that's all I'm going to use to be lifting the front end. So let's slide that front axle under there and get everything lined up. Oh, also, yes, I know these tires are bald. They're just for mock-up. I had these rims already. If you notice, it's what I had on the Rubicon before it went through all of its changes, and I was running 33s on it. These are 35s, or 34s because they're so worn. But anyway, I figured I'd give them a shot. I've never run them before, so I just picked them up on Facebook Marketplace. Let me know in the comments what you think of this stance, by the way. The back is sitting on its own weight. We have yet to see what the front looks like, so let's get to it. I've always been impressed with how dinky the factory ones are, and actually if you off-road with these for a while, you'll find out break or bend really easily. Not saying everything's a good upgrade, but these do the trick for me. I need to get them bolted up, and then we can slide the axle underneath, get everything lined up, and where it needs to go. On to the next side. So now that these are in, we can get our new track bar mounted, and we'll be ready to slide this axle in. Really hurt if this fell on me. Okay, so at this point, I have the upper and lower control arms bolted in kind of loosely. Now we need to set the springs. We can put the tires on and kind of measure for an alignment. All right, so these are my lift springs. So we got both springs in. Time to see where this rides. It's definitely low in the front. That's okay, because I have something to fix that. These right here are 2-inch lift pucks. I think if we just slide them in above the springs, it'll lift up the front end enough that it won't be terrible. We'll say that. It won't be terrible. All right, have the spacer in now, and that's quite a bit better. So now that it's sitting on its own weight, we have another problem to address. It has a 2-wheel drive transmission, and we just put front axle in it, so now it needs to be 4-wheel drive. So we need to swap transmissions. Luckily I have one. It was on the same motor that I got the wiring harness from, so I'll split that and then put that up in there. It won't be the long-term solution, it's just enough to get me by for the week. So today, that's what we'll be doing. Okay, so this is it. There's the transfer case that I need. Transmission's off of this engine. Now we need to get it out of there. The best solution would be to have a car lift. I don't have one. The next best is a transmission jack. I also don't have one of those. But I do have a regular jack, and although it's not as stable, it's gonna have to get the job done because I'm not gonna be bench pressing this thing out and in all the time. So what I've done is I've taken the regular foot off of the top of this jack. It's normally right there. So I've taken that off, and I'm gonna build an adapter that holds the transmission that also bolts to the top of this. So that way, hopefully, move the transmission in and out with ease. Let's get to it. Boom. All right, so that's what I came up with. It rotates on top of the jack and should cradle the transmission pretty nicely. But now I need to pull the transmission out of the truck, and that's just going to take a while. A lot of electrical connectors to undo, bolts to undo, stuff like that. Nice. So some of you know what these are. These are like an E12 6-sided star, and they're the hardest bolts to get off. They're so hard that I broke a ratchet. Whew. That was a lot of work. But we got it out, and the transmission jack worked pretty good. So there is a serious problem with the back of this one. which means that this slides in and out freely. Now there's kits to delete that, but I don't have a kit for this one. So we're gonna try to do what's called a hack and tap. It's basically where you drill into the end and then tap it out. Keep in mind, this is temporary. I believe these shafts are actually case hardened, and what that means is the outside is really, really tough. And by tough, I mean like you can't actually drill through it. So we're gonna need to cut like an inch off of the end of this. To do that, we just use the cutoff wheel. Normally, if you were doing this with in the vehicle, you just turn the car on and then just have it turn out of this, and then you could just get a nice clean cut. So I don't have that luxury, so we're gonna eyeball it. A little bit of tap magic goes a long way on something like this. Now that I have my hole centered in there, we can take this tap that I bought and start tapping these threads. Once again with the tap magic. Although this is a hack and tap, it's way more of a hack job. There you have it. That took less than 20 minutes. So we're back working on the Comanche, and last night I left you guys when I finished tapping the tail shaft of this transfer case. We need to get this transmission in. Well, we have it sitting in there pretty good now. Now it's just the long process of putting every little bolt back where it goes and hoping that it holds. Hi.
Hey.
So Janelle's gonna be helping me tonight. So we have front and rear shocks. We have to finish the drive lines. We have to finish bolting the axles in because they're just loosely sitting there. Yeah, it should be ready after that.
So these U-joints came in the mail, so now we're gonna finish what Rudy started.
I'm lucky I even have them.
That was an awkward way to get a tire off.
Now, you can take that clamp off and then put the 2 plates on, and then you bolt them down.
We'll figure it out. I'm gonna guess this goes like that.
So I did a risky thing and measured for a drive line without having the transmission in, and I got within a 1/16 of an inch. So let me show you that too.
So these guys are out of Vegas, and they do a great job. So I order this, and then it comes pretty much the next day, and it has everything I need. So Adam's drive shafts. Yeah, that's beautiful. I always love getting new drive shafts.
Why?
Just cause, look at it. Can't imagine a more beautiful thing. Okay, well, we'll get this installed.
So Rudy's finishing up some of his stuff, so while he's doing that, I'm gonna put in these new brake lines. Brake lines are in.
It's really late, and we didn't quite move along as fast as we were hoping to. You did everything on your list though, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah, so front and rear shocks done, the rear axle bolted down. We have all of the brakes bled and new brake lines put on. So I'll be back in the morning to finish this because I gotta hit the road. Okay, so things got a little bit crazy. We had to move out of that spot to get this trailer in here. This trailer's getting the frame rebuilt and stuff underneath. So I'm just gonna show you what I ended up finishing up. We got new shock mounts put on. We've got the U-bolts put on. That's how that looks and whatnot.
Underneath, I got my hack and tap installed here, right there, as well as my driveline put in. So
up front, Janelle got the shocks put on and the longer brake lines. Those brake lines came off of like a 95 Wrangler. So, and they're like 4 inches longer. So we got the whole front end aligned properly and whatnot. We'll have to kind of test it out to see for sure. So that'll have to be for another video. We still actually need to fix the door, so that's a thing. That's what we've done for the Comanche so far, and thanks for watching.